Elon Musk has finished the AI5 chip, and Tesla Bot Gen 3 could become the biggest test of Tesla's entire AI strategy. But what's making this story explode isn't just the new design, more dexterous hands, or smoother movement. The real game changer is what's inside. The AI5 chip. Musk says the AI5 chip delivers performance comparable to NVIDIA's $30,000 GPUs, while using only around 250 watts of power and being compact enough to fit directly inside a robot's chest. And here's the crazy part. Tesla decided not to put this chip into its cars first. Instead, they prioritized Optimus Gen 3. Why a robot instead of a car? Because with AI5 on board, Optimus Gen 3 could learn from massive amounts of real-world data, handle up to 5,000 complex tasks, and process situations entirely on its own. No Wi-Fi and no cloud computing required. Right now, Tesla is reportedly building an insanely ambitious production line and even a dedicated large-scale factory just for Optimus. So the big question is, why could Optimus Gen 3, powered by AI5, completely disrupt the robotics industry? If Optimus Gen 3 really is the first generation designed specifically to fully leverage AI5, then this isn't just a hardware upgrade. It could be the moment Tesla transforms Optimus from an interesting prototype into a true AI-powered workforce machine, one capable of operating in factories, restaurants, charging stations, warehouses, and eventually everyday human life. Tesla has already completed the AI5 chip tape-out process, meaning the chip design is finalized and moving into production, with TSMC and Samsung reportedly involved as manufacturing partners. That turns AI5 from a flashy stage promise into actual hardware that's getting closer to reality. And here's the key thing people need to understand from the start. Humanoid robots haven't failed because humans lack imagination. They've failed because the real-world problem is insanely difficult. A service robot doesn't just need to walk. It has to see, hear, understand language, balance itself, recognize objects, control, grip strength, avoid people, react to unexpected situations, and do all of that in real time. If it reacts half a second too late, it looks clumsy. If it applies the wrong amount of force, it drops things. If it responds incorrectly when someone suddenly walks by, it becomes a safety hazard. That's why the real test for Optimus Gen 3 isn't whether it can dance on stage. The real test is whether it can actually work in real environments for hours every day with an error rate low enough for humans to trust it. And that's exactly why AI5 matters so much. In self-driving cars, AI chips already have to process cameras, traffic signs, lane markings, pedestrians, motorcycles, trucks, corners, and speed all at the same time. But humanoid robots face an even bigger challenge. Optimus doesn't just observe the world, it has to physically interact with it. A car can avoid an obstacle by braking or steering away. A robot has to understand whether a cup is fragile, whether a tray is tilted, whether a box is too heavy, how much pressure its fingers should apply, what angle its wrist should rotate, and where its foot should land to maintain balance. In other words, self-driving cars require visual intelligence. Humanoid robots require visual intelligence plus motor intelligence. And when both systems have to run simultaneously, the computing demands increase dramatically. With AI5, Tesla is trying to solve exactly that bottleneck, bringing far more powerful AI processing directly inside the robot instead of relying on the cloud. And that difference is absolutely critical. A robot working side by side with humans can't wait for a Wi-Fi signal to decide whether it should stop moving or not. It can't upload data to a server and wait for a response while carrying a tray of drinks through a restaurant. It needs local reflexes, just like Tesla's full self-driving system has to react instantly inside the car itself. If AI5 allows Optimus to run larger AI models, process sensor data faster, and reduce latency, then this upgrade doesn't just make the robot smarter on paper, it makes the robot more reliable in the real world. And this is exactly where many competitors in the robotics industry could run into trouble. Boston Dynamics has incredibly advanced mechanical engineering. Figure AI is moving extremely fast. Unitree has a major cost advantage. But Tesla brings together a completely different combination of strengths, massive real-world vision data from self-driving cars, large-scale manufacturing experience, AI software, custom-designed chips, batteries, motors, sensors, and an entire factory network where robots can be tested in real operating environments. If Optimus Gen 3 gets deployed inside Fremont or Giga Texas before it's released commercially, Tesla won't just be testing robots. They'll be building a data feedback loop. The robot works. The robot makes mistakes. Tesla collects the data. The software gets updated. The robot improves. That's the exact formula that helped full self-driving evolve over time, and now Tesla is trying to apply the same strategy to humanoid robots. The changes happening at Fremont make this story even more significant. Tesla has reportedly built the final Model S and Model X vehicles at the Fremont factory. closing a major chapter in the company's history. According to Business Insider, Tesla is now shifting Fremont's focus toward supporting the Optimus project. And that's not a small detail. The Model S was the car that helped Tesla prove electric vehicles could be fast, luxurious, and desirable. The Model X was one of Tesla's boldest engineering statements. So if factory space once dedicated to those two iconic vehicles is now being redirected toward robots, the message is pretty clear. Tesla believes its biggest future growth opportunity may no longer be just cars. It may be physical automation. In the past, humanoid robots were mostly judged by demonstrations. Can it run? Can it dance? Can it lift heavy objects? Can it hold conversations? But Tesla is trying to shift the competition toward a completely different set of metrics. Can the robot be mass-produced? Can the cost come down over time? Can the software improve continuously through updates? Can the data scale with every deployment? And most importantly, can the robot generate real economic value? If Tesla wins on those metrics, then the entire robotics industry may be forced to rethink how it competes. That's why Optimus Gen 3 doesn't need to do everything perfectly on day one. It doesn't need to cook flawlessly, clean houses flawlessly, care for the elderly flawlessly, or replace every restaurant worker overnight. The reality is much more practical. It only needs to perform a few repetitive but economically valuable tasks really well. For example, moving components inside factories, transporting items from point A to point B, assisting with basic inspections, serving drinks in controlled environments, delivering food at the Tesla diner, or helping with logistics operations at supercharger stations. None of these tasks sound especially glamorous, but economically, they matter a lot. If a robot can work 7 to 8 hours a day, reduce the burden on human labor, and repeat tasks with high consistency, businesses will pay attention immediately. And this is exactly why Tesla's 22 degrees of freedom hands and actuator systems are becoming such a major focus. A service robot doesn't just need hands. It needs hands delicate enough to hold a glass, strong enough to carry a tray, precise enough to place objects carefully, and durable enough to repeat those actions thousands of times. In industrial robotics, the difference between a demo robot and a real working robot is repeatability. Doing something once on stage is easy compared to doing it 10,000 times inside a factory. And if Tesla is truly designing custom actuators for every joint, hips, knees, shoulders, wrists, and fingers, then the company can optimize weight, torque, speed, and power efficiency in ways that robots built from off-the-shelf components may struggle to match. That's classic Tesla strategy. Instead of assembling generic parts together, they design the entire system around the goal of mass production at scale. And if AI5 is the brain, then the actuators are the muscles, the battery is the circulatory system, and the data becomes Optimus's real-world experience. A robot only becomes truly useful when all of those parts work together seamlessly. A powerful chip means nothing if the battery can't keep the robot running long enough. Skilled hands don't matter if the software reacts too slowly. Advanced mechanics won't scale if manufacturing costs stay too high. Tesla understands that a humanoid robot isn't just a single product. It's a fully integrated system where every small improvement in chips, batteries, software, sensors, and mechanical engineering compounds into a much larger competitive advantage. And that's exactly why Optimus Gen 3 could become such a major turning point. Not because it's guaranteed to be perfect at launch, but because it may become the first version that feels genuinely close to a real commercial product. If Tesla can prove that Optimus is capable of working inside its own factories first, then gradually expand into Tesla diner locations, supercharger stations, warehouses, restaurants, and industrial partners, the conversation changes completely. The question stops being, does this robot look impressive, and becomes how much economic value can this robot generate? And once the competition shifts toward economic value, Tesla becomes a very dangerous player for the rest of the robotics industry. And this is exactly what makes Optimus Gen 3 different from most humanoid robots being discussed today. A lot of companies can create impressive demo videos, robots running, dancing, turning, carrying boxes, shaking hands, or having short conversations on camera. But a demo video is not the same thing as a real operational system. In the real world, a robot can't just succeed once. It has to succeed repeatedly over hours, days, and months while maintaining low error rates, reasonable maintenance costs, and safety levels high enough for humans to comfortably work beside it. That's the massive gap between a flashy prototype and a true industrial product that can scale. And Tesla is trying to attack that gap directly. What makes Tesla dangerous isn't simply that they built a walking robot. What makes Tesla dangerous is that they have experience turning technologies once considered impossible to mass produce into products capable of rolling off assembly lines by the millions. The Model 3 era was painful, but incredibly important. Tesla went through what Elon Musk famously called production hell. The company learned how to optimize every manufacturing step, every component, every assembly robot, and every second on the production line. So when Tesla approaches Optimus, they aren't treating it purely as a robotics problem. They're treating it as a manufacturing problem. And in the humanoid robotics industry, that could end up being the biggest advantage of all. A humanoid robot can contain anywhere from 28 to 40 actuators, dozens of sensors, a battery system, an AI brain, cooling systems, a skeletal frame, outer casing, highly complex hands, motion control software, computer vision software, and even language interaction layers. If every one of those components comes from different suppliers, each with different standards, costs, and development cycles, the final product can quickly become expensive, heavy, and extremely difficult to scale. Tesla tends to approach things very differently. The company wants to control as many critical components as possible: chips, software, batteries, actuators, data, manufacturing lines, and even the first deployment environments. And this kind of vertical integration could be exactly what transforms Optimus from an expensive robotics experiment into a product whose cost steadily drops over time. If AI5 is what makes Optimus smarter, then mass production is what could make Optimus truly dangerous from a market perspective. Because an incredible robot that costs several $100,000 will remain limited to research labs, military programs, or a handful of specialized corporations. But if Tesla can drive the price down far enough, the entire conversation changes. At that point, Optimus stops being a futuristic luxury gadget and starts becoming an automated labor unit with measurable return on investment. The robot doesn't need to appear in your living room first to make coffee or clean your bed. It can begin inside Tesla factories, where everything is far more standardized. Components stay in fixed locations. Pathways are clearly designed. Tasks repeat constantly. Environments are controlled, and data is easy to collect. That makes factories the perfect training ground. If Optimus makes mistakes inside a Tesla factory, engineers can observe the failure, analyze the data, update the software, adjust workflows, and improve the hardware. Every mistake becomes new data, and every correction makes the entire robot fleet smarter. That feedback loop looks very similar to the way Tesla developed full self-driving. Tesla didn't try to manually program every possible traffic situation. Instead, the company collected real-world data, trained neural networks, deployed software updates, and then kept collecting even more data. With Optimus, that loop becomes much harder because the robot has to physically interact with the real world. But if Tesla succeeds, the payoff could be even bigger. A self-driving car learns how to navigate streets. A humanoid robot learns how to perform physical labor. And physical labor is a vastly larger market than transportation alone. Take Tesla diner or supercharger stations as examples. If Optimus can deliver food to vehicles, serve drinks, hand out popcorn, clear trays, or assist with simple operational tasks in semi-public environments, that's not just a marketing stunt. It's a real-world stress test between robots and humans. Customers move unpredictably. Kids may suddenly run across the path. Adults may reach for items at the wrong moment. Drinks can tilt. Floors can become slippery. Background noise can interfere with voice recognition. A service robot operating in that kind of environment has to combine computer vision, speech understanding, motion prediction, grip force control, and safe decision-making all at the same time. And if Optimus performs well there, Tesla won't just prove it can build factory robots. It will prove that it has the foundation for a true service robotics platform. At the same time, it's important to be realistic. This won't be some magical overnight breakthrough. Optimus Gen 3 may launch with a better design, a more powerful chip, more dexterous hands, and more natural movement. But the early phase will still be a validation stage. Tesla will still need to prove the durability of its actuators, battery lifespan, charging capability, human safety performance, operation in humid environments, object recognition reliability, and overall software stability. If even one of those areas falls short, the robot could end up limited to simpler tasks at first, but that wouldn't mean failure. That's simply how real industrial products mature over time. And the key point is that Tesla probably doesn't need Optimus to be perfect immediately. They just need a platform that's good enough to begin the deployment feedback loop. If the first 1,000 robots can successfully handle simple factory tasks, Tesla will learn more than any stage demo could ever teach them. If the next 10,000 robots operate across multiple facilities, the data becomes far richer. And if one day that number scales into the hundreds of thousands, then each robot stops being just a labor machine. Each one becomes a mobile sensor, a continuous data source, and a software update endpoint inside Tesla's physical AI network. That's why AI5 shouldn't be viewed as just another standalone chip. It's the key to scaling that entire feedback loop. With a more powerful brain, Optimus can process more sensors, run larger AI models, handle more complex behaviors, and react faster in real time. With better energy efficiency, the robot can operate longer. With lower latency, it becomes safer when interacting with humans. And by developing its own chip roadmap, Tesla no longer has to wait for NVIDIA, Qualcomm, or any other supplier to determine its future. And that point is incredibly important. Tesla doesn't want to rent the brain for its robots. Tesla wants to own the brain itself.